Core principle: behavior over words. At the end of the day, who someone really is shows up in how they behave, especially when no one is grading them on it. Words are easy. People can promise the world, say all the right things, and sound incredibly genuine. But when you watch what they actually do over time, you start to see the patterns that matter, whether they're kind, selfish, reliable, or chaotic. Behavior is like the debug log behind the polished UI of their personality. Primary lens observation. Seeing people clearly is mostly about slowing down and watching, not guessing or overanalyzing every little thing. Instead of obsessing over what they meant by a text or a comment, it helps to zoom out and watch how they consistently act in different situations. Over time, small moments add up and you start to notice, oh, this is just how they operate, which is way more useful than hanging on to one nice gesture or one bad day. Words versus actions. Words are cheap because anyone can talk a good game when emotions are high or they want something. Apologies, promises, motivational quotes. None of that means much if the follow-through is missing. Actions, especially when it's inconvenient or uncomfortable, tell you whether the sentiment was real or just noise. If what they say and what they do keep clashing, it's safer to believe the behavior, not the speech. Key tests of character. People's true colors show in very specific kinds of moments. How they treat you when they have nothing to gain is a huge tell, because there's no incentive to fake it. Another big one is what they do after they mess up. Do they own it, fix it, and change, or just talk circles around the problem? When their stories about themselves don't line up with how they actually move through the world, the gap between narrative and behavior is basically the real report. Practical guidelines for you. For your own sanity, it helps to treat behavior like hard data and everything else like commentary. When someone keeps showing you a pattern, being late, dismissive, generous, thoughtful, that's your information, and it's okay to adjust your trust level accordingly. Instead of making excuses for them or clinging to their potential, you can quietly update your boundaries, give less access if needed, and invest more in people whose actions consistently match their words. Mindset shifts. Seeing behavior clearly usually requires a mindset shift away from wishful thinking. It means being willing to retire the idealized version of someone you've built in your head and replace it with the version that actually shows up in real life. Once you start treating behavior as neutral data points instead of personal attacks or drama, it gets easier to make cleaner decisions. Who to trust, who to keep at arm's length, and where you might need to change your own habits too. Applications in life. This lens plugs into pretty much every area of life. Relationships, work, friendships, even how you evaluate yourself. In dating or friendships, instead of asking, what do they say they want, you start asking, how do they treat me when it's hard, boring, or inconvenient? At work, you notice who quietly delivers versus who just looks good in meetings. And on a personal level, you can hold up a mirror and ask, if someone judged me only by my behavior, would it match the person I claim to be?